What's up, everybody? Just wanted to jump on here for a little bit and do a little life update. Uh, as you can probably tell and go back and look at, I haven't uploaded anything on quite a while. I know it's been over 3 months. So the big news is I've quit drinking, and for now, anyway, hopefully that's a permanent thing. I can't really predict how the future's going to go, but that's what we're shooting for. Sure, a lot of y'all that's watched my videos, y'all have been able to see, mostly every video that I've been in, I was drinking. Back when I was doing reactions, music reactions and stuff, I was at the point where, I got to where I felt like I couldn't sit in front of that camera without having something to drink. And that's really main reason I want to get on here today. Right now I'm out here walking the dog around the field, letting him get a little exercise. But yeah, and this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a little while now, especially since I've started this new journey of not drinking. And it's a big life change when you went from doing it every day to just not feeling like you could do anything without drinking, especially anything social. And I mean, I'm still, I'm definitely not doing anything much as social as I used to be, because, I just don't feel like going out and talking to people, really. That was kind of my thing, was drinking. And if I wasn't doing it, I was just sitting at home. And so now that's pretty much what I do. I'm looking for a new job right now. I had to leave the job that I was at because it was not helping my sobriety one bit, and I could literally tell that the week after I quit drinking. Like, it didn't take long at all to realize that it wasn't going to work. So here I am. It's been 3 months, a little over 3 months now. I can say I've had a lot of people help me along the way. Some of my my real family, and then some of my YouTube family. All y'all, some of y'all have reached out to me, and I really appreciate all that. Man, I just want to talk about how hard it is. I was thinking, quit drinking, it's going to solve all my problems. I was going to be doing good. And honestly, and this isn't to discourage anyone that, wants to quit drinking. Yes, I still encourage it. Please, if that's something that you see as a problem, please quit. But I want to talk about how hard it is, man. Like, you think it's going to solve all the problems, but it really doesn't. Yes, drinking was the core root to most of my issues. But now that I haven't been drinking in 3 months, it's tough to describe, man. It's like, I feel good about it. I feel great about it, but it only seems like, the rest of my problems are just still piling up. Like, and I guess that's the devil telling me, or trying to get to me, because he knows that, he realizes that I put down the one thing that had a grip on me, and that was alcohol. And so I guess this is, just the devil trying to find other ways to get me down, and I'm really doing my best not to let it get to me. Some days are harder than others, and each day, when you have them string of hard days, it's like every day's harder and harder and harder, and then, eventually something comes along to kind of snap you out of it and be like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful for everything that I've got, and thankful to be alive, thankful for my son, thankful for all the great people I've got in my life. I love them to death. So, I'm not trying to be ungrateful. because I know, God doesn't like that. And that's a big thing that, I'm trying to get back to is, get back close to God. Just when you got the big man on your side, there's nothing that can stop you. And not saying that I don't feel like I got God on my side, because I know He is on my side. I just got to figure out where He wants me and what His plans are for me. You want to do another lap, Hooley? We can still talk. Come on, let's do another lap. But yeah, I wanted to get back on here because I miss doing YouTube. I miss talking to the people, all the people that I don't know. That's just kind of, if anybody that does know me, that I don't know any strangers. And anybody out there, I'll go ahead and say this too. Anybody out there that's struggling, feel free to get in contact with me. Instagram. My Instagram, I think, is the same as my YouTube. My Facebook is Travis Tuttle. And yeah, and I'd be glad to talk to anybody and make a new friend. I don't care if you're down the street from me or if you're all the way across the country from me. I don't, you can ask anybody that I've made friends with on here before. I'll do what I can to help you. Yeah, Billy just took a shit. It's good. Only took a whole lap around the field and halfway around the house again. But yeah, back to the whole sobriety thing. It's tough, man. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, because I love drinking. Like, I'll still say it. I still love it. Like, it's still, I know how much fun I could be to be around when I was drinking. I know how not fun I could be to be around when I was drinking, and that's really where it got to the point, man. Like, it got to the point where I wasn't the fun guy to be around anymore. I was turning into the asshole or the mean guy or whatever, and that's not who I want to be. I will say there's a lot of people that that I didn't really pay attention to, like on social media and stuff, that I see how they're living and how they've lived life and where they've came from and the struggles they've came from, and it really gives me motivation to try to be somebody like that, because that's all I really want to do is help people. I never want to be the guy to put people down and make people's lives worse. I want to figure out ways to make people's lives better, and I'm just really hoping that God will find a way to put me in that position to where that I can do that kind of stuff. I've never had any bad intentions on anybody, and I don't want to see, especially somebody that I know and care about, I don't want to see anybody else, go down the road I was going down and then not be able to stop. There are people that I know that, so many people that I know and grew up with that, I see them now and I don't even recognize them. They don't even look like the same people, just because of the choices they've made and, the shit that they got stuck into. And I wish that, that I was, instead of, being a drunk and not paying attention to any of that stuff, I wish that I would have just helped them, or tried to help them. But, I had to realize that I needed help before I could help somebody else. So that's really the main issue with that. But yeah, and I'm not on this on here, boo-hoo, sob, poor me, woe's me. I ain't playing none of that. I ain't looking for nobody's sympathy. I just kind of wanted to share what I've been going through and let y'all know, I don't plan on giving up. I want to stick with it, keep this journey going. There's a lot to talk about as far as music wise. Since I've been sober, I know I'm late as hell, about a year late, but I got kind of caught up on the whole Drake and Kendrick beef, and man, I'm telling y'all what, That right there, this whole beef, that whole beef or whatever, I'm sure it's still going on pretty strong. I don't really keep up with the up-to-date news. I'll find out about it a year later, I guess. But that's been a big thing, you know, for me to focus on here lately is, you know, just music and stuff going on with music. I really, you know, would like to get back one day once I can get me, you know, another computer, laptop, whatever. I know I could do it on my phone, but I just don't really feel comfortable like that. I'd rather have my whole setup like I had before. But and I eventually probably, you know, will end up doing something back with that, you know, because music is a huge part of my life, and I love doing the reactions with y'all. I know I was kind of stuck on one genre, which I still, you know, still keep up with Old Up Church and his crazy ass and everything going on with that. I know that's what my last like 3 videos were about, and honestly, it got to the point where it was just so much, man. Like I couldn't keep up with it. Like I can't keep up with who's riding with who, and you know, Hosier's back in the mix now, which is crazy. Like never really seen that one coming. But I'm not mad at it. You know, it is what it is. Honestly, I'm glad to see Hosier kind of come back around with Up Church, because they were they were pretty good friends before. And it's good to see some people, you know, staying true to their colors and not running off and doing what the cool thing do, you know. So that's all I'll really say about that. But anyway, like I said, I just want to go on here and let y'all know what's been going on with me. Let y'all know I'm still alive, for anybody that cared. And if you're going through some stuff, man, like, you know, mental awareness, mental health for men, I feel like is, you know, it's finally getting the exposure that it needs. Some, probably not enough, but yeah, if you see somebody, man, or know somebody that's not, you feel like they're not doing okay, and you know they just don't seem like themselves, don't be afraid to reach out. You know, let them know that you're here for them. And if you're going through some stuff, you know, reach out to somebody, reach out to me, whatever, we can talk. I'm not the most sane person in the world and got a ton of, you know, mental problems probably myself, but I can relate to a lot. So anyway, I'll end it off here if y'all ain't got to hear me rambling no more. But if y'all have stuck around, and everybody that stuck around and, you know, asked about me and reached out to me, I really appreciate y'all. And hey, maybe I'll see you again in another 3 months and be able to tell you I'm 6 months sober. So peace out, y'all.